I ran across the 5 people you meet in heaven when I was probably a teen. It blew my mind then to think the way the story unfolded, that someone who touched your life for maybe a second, for just a moment, could have had such great impact in the long term. And I think Butterfly Effect came out with Ashton Kutcher around the same time, or maybe a little bit later, but that these little pivotal moments could cause such ripple effects on down the line. And I think when you keep yourself open to meeting people and hearing their stories, and I treat everyone, whether they're a child, an elder, someone the same age, someone with whatever experiences they've had, everyone I come into contact with has something I can learn, because they've lived their life. I haven't. So I think when you approach the world that way, your world becomes much larger. There's so much still to experience. And I've learned a lot, even whether it's from a date that didn't go so well and I learned how to play threes with dice, or that's kind of how I approached it. I was like, let's go axe throwing or archery, like let's go play. So I was gonna have a fun time no matter what. But just being willing to learn. Another thing was the seasons, like harnessing the seasons to do certain kinds of creative work if you're someone who has a lot of interests. So in the winter, doing more of the writing and processing and that kind of stuff, sitting with things. And then in the summer, more of the play and the outdoors things. So there's so much to learn from everyone around you. And I went to an open mic thing once, and everyone was just talking over each other as they just wanted their 5 minutes of fame to get up there and just be seen and get the attention. And then they were not paying attention to anybody else on stage. And I just can't understand that. I think you're there to take in. Maybe it's the concert kid in me who grew up playing, an orchestra where you stay and you listen to everyone's performance, because that's, I don't know, the courteous thing, the human, the supportive thing to do. But you just shut yourself off from so many experiences when you're not curious about other people. So I think maybe that's what it comes down to, is just having curiosity. I think it was Dr. Loretta Ross who coined the term calling in instead of calling out when it comes to people's experiences. Instead of, yelling at someone, how dare you talk about this, or how this made me, you're an awful person because of this, but calling someone into your experience and saying, hey, this is just what's going on for me with this. And if people are curious about that on both sides, everybody learns and grows and discovers really cool things that they maybe didn't know. It's just my thinking and my approach. And as I've been just kind of allowing the flow of that this last year, it's about December, I ran into this young man in a coffee shop, and we ended up having a just philosophical discussion until the place closed. And he just came by and painted one night, and that was the extent of our whole friendship interaction, but wildly creative. So it was the first time I had stepped away from following tutorials for painting, or like looking for a specific idea and how I wanted to put it together, and just painted from a blank canvas for whatever came to mind, because that's what he was doing. So I tried it, and then I had these like happy little accidents that came from that, these offshoot arts, and I just haven't stopped playing since then. So you just never know who's gonna influence your life in some direction. So when you're open to it, cool things happen. Humans are cool.